Alright, hello everyone, how's it going? This is Space here. Welcome back to our episode of Movie Recommendation. Oh yeah, so we kind of missed out on November, so I'm going to go back and do that real quick before we go on to December. But this time we've got quite an exciting one that I just watched in November, so it still counts. Anyways, today we have Predestination from 2014, directed by Peter Spierig and Michael Spierig, a directing duo, brothers. So, the story of this one is it is based off of a story from back in the day. I believe back, I don't know exactly when the story came up, but it was back in the early to mid 20th century, and it's basically about this time agent that's sent back to weave this complicated narrative and try to find this despicable and dangerous bomber called the Fizzle Bomber, who is set to destroy a large portion of New York in the near future. So it's quite a fascinating tale, very neo-noir-esque, got a really cool sort of flavor to it in that regard. This sort of takes place back in the past, so it's got this sort of more like kind of 40s to 60s, well 70s sort of vibe to it, very sort of like detective-y and stuff like that as he tries to figure out who this Fizzle Bomber is and how to stop them. So it's a very complex story. It's the structure is kind of simple, like it doesn't really have a lot going for it as far as like the structure. It sort of like has like a few larger scenes and that's about it, but I think that's to its advantage, that its simplicity and complexity sort of like weave together to make a pretty solid movie. I feel like it is held back by a few things. I think like some of the directing choices and stuff like that don't quite do the source material justice, but I think overall the story and the acting really propels it forward. So it's not a perfect movie in my book, but I think it is still quite a great and perhaps underrated sci-fi gem. The twists and turns really keep you captivated. You wonder who the Fizzle Bomber is and what exactly is going on. There's a lot of scenes it's like, oh, what is this? Like, they don't really reveal their hand right away until the very end, and it's all very thought-provoking and sort of sticks with you. Great performances by Ethan Hawke, an amazing actor, and of course Sarah Snook, probably one of her best performances I've seen. She's really great in Succession as well, but my goodness, this one is one for the books. She really just knocks it out of the park. She plays a few characters actually, so it's really cool just sort of seeing how she's able to really differentiate these characters and sort of like fit in with sort of the themings of this story. So quite impressive indeed. Overall, it's one that I'm glad that I saw. It's quite the mind-bending story, and I really just loved how it went. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, that was Predestination. Let me know if you've seen it, what you think, and if you do see it, feel free to come back and tell me what you thought too. I will see you all in the next one. I promise this one will not be late. Most likely. Maybe.